What's up, people? It's your boy Yoti, and welcome to Steady Bro. Physician associate or physician assistant? Now that seems to be the question. You guys already know the role of the physician associate developed through the efforts of Dr. Eugene Stead in the US of A. If you didn't know that, go check that video I made on the origin of physician associates. Go click it. Our big bros from the United States have been known as physician assistants for most of their existence. A couple of weeks ago, their FPA equivalent, AAPA, voted on a name change from physician assistant to physician associate. You can imagine there were mixed reactions. Most PAs were, of course, happy and welcomed the name change from assistant to associate. They made the argument that the title of assistant didn't really represent them and what they brought to the table. Because sometimes when you're called an assistant, patient will always be waiting for the boss to come. If you're an assistant, where is the boss? Why am I seeing you? They felt the term associate would better represent them and give some better PR between them and the patients. Some doctors, however, felt this was another blatant evidence of mid-level creep. I think I'll make a whole video about mid-level creep and what it is. In short, it's this idea that non-doctors, being nurse practitioners, ACPs, physician associates, are steadily taking on more responsibility without having trained for it. That's mid-level creep in a nutshell. Some of these doctors felt moving from assistant to associate will further confuse patients, because most patients are not really clear about what a physician associate is or a physician assistant is. They made this argument that changing from assistant to physician associate would allow these PAs to pass for doctors. Some also pointed out that this was an intentional move by the AAPA to allow physician associates to push for autonomous practice, similar to nurse practitioners in certain states. Changing the name from physician assistant to physician associate will cause a confusion between associate physicians and this new physician associate. They call associate physicians medical students who, though haven't qualified, do not match on residency. It's more like a UK medic having finished medical school, not getting onto a foundation program, not getting a place to start training. So in America, they call these associate physicians. I don't know if it's the official term, but in common parlance, they are referred to as associate physicians. Calling physician assistants physician associates, they believe will cause a confusion between actual doctors and not doctors. I hope this is making sense. Some physician associates did mention that though they welcome the change from assistant to associate, they by no means want autonomous practice. This is because, frankly, this is not what they signed up for, and they are happy and more than content being within a physician-led team. The difficulty here is we are dealing with humans, and we are all of different opinions. Though some physician associates understand that I'm a physician associate, I'm supervised by a doctor, with this name change, some went a bit overboard. Check this one out. Physician assistant becoming a physician associate who, like others, was very happy that the name had been changed from assistant to associate. She went on further to equal herself to doctors. I think this was the straw that broke the camel's back for some of these doctors. And this didn't sit well with most people. All hell broke loose. Maybe because UK physician associates have always been called physician associates from what I know, I don't really see where the confusion is. However, I do acknowledge that patients do not know what physician associates are, unless perhaps they have one in their family. I don't think they even do. The average patient doesn't know what a physician associate is. Therefore, it's up to said physician associate to make it clear to the patient that you are not a doctor. I think most physician associates will agree with me on this point. The funny thing is, even after you've explained to patients you are not a doctor, by the time they leave your room, they always say, "Thank you, doctor. I just told you I'm not a doctor." The title of a doctor can be flattering. However, in a medical setting, in a medical environment, it does come with certain responsibilities that I do not believe the physician associate program trains you for, simply because that is not the intended outcome. If it were, there will be no need for us to have a competency matrix. Your 1A, your 1B, and your 2A. Your 2Bs, it tells you what you are supposed to know, like your bread and butter, and certain things you might have to pass on to your supervising clinician, because that is not the intended outcome of your course. Of course, there are things we do as well as doctors, even in some cases better. I've had some serious cannulations, bro. Even a consultant couldn't match me on that. There are further papers out there that do support that a physician associate can work to a level comparable to an FY2 in training. There are certain areas we can match them, but nonetheless, a physician associate is not equal to a doctor. If physician associates and doctors are equal, someone needs to reimburse these doctors because they've been bamboozled, they've been scammed, they've been spent broad daylight robbed. Years spent in medical school, the debts accumulated, your foundation years, specialty training, being moved up and down the country without any control of own life and your relationship, bro, and for you to have the same outcome as a physician associate who doesn't have to do that, it's robbery. If one can go through the physician associate program and come out with the same competency, knowledge as a doctor, then I think these doctors are really being dealt some messed up cards. Someone needs to pay them back. There has to be an underlying difference. They are not the same. There are certain things we do that are similar, that are equal to them, but in total, we cannot be the same. Then again, this is my opinion, right? I don't look at a physician associate and think, bro, you are equal to a doctor. You are not. That's my opinion. Some people might have different opinions. Having said that, that doesn't mean physician associates are some second-class citizen. It's just that the program, the physician associate program, does not train you to be a doctor. It trains you to work within the competence of a physician associate. Many associations, they are Royal Colleges equivalent in the United States, from dermatology, emergency medicine, psychiatry to family medicine. They have grossly and strongly opposed the name change, the rebrand from physician assistant to physician associate in the United States, because they argue this is wrong advertising. And the term physician associate in the United States is not transparent enough and will confuse patients, further echoing the sentiments of some of the doctors around the States. Fully support the name change to physician associate. I think mainly for selfish reasons. So that if one day I were to leave the UK and go to the States, I tell the bros I'm a physician associate, they know where I'm going and they can give me the right type of P. Because them man over there, I get all kinds of P. All kinds. And I want a share of that.
I'm a joking!
So physician associates, welcome to the family. We hope to see you around. I understand some of you might have a different opinion to me, and I'd like to know them. Do you think these doctors in the States are wilding about the name change and making a big fuss out of nothing? Or do you see the merit to the argument? Let me know in the comment section. Boy, Yoti, and I'm out. Salutes!